I love the fact that I have like my own mini community within Adelphi. You go in, you can always have a conversation with someone. Everyone's pretty easygoing here.
I think a special thing about the Honors College is the type of community that it builds around here. I think these past 4 years, having a sense of or a place to connect and settle down between my classes, it's very special to have here, especially not having a dorm.
You can always just go to the Honors College, see what people are talking about, and say like, hey, I'm taking that class, or hey, I was in this class. So there's a sense of camaraderie here, and I think that's the great part about the Honors College.
It's a very small, tight-knit institution, and as a result of that, and the fact that, my classrooms, my office, the office of the Honors College are all on the ground floor level of what is essentially the Honors College dorm, everyone kind of gets to know one another.
Especially the deans. They're very social and welcoming and warm people. They make themselves very accessible to the students through tea times, for example, where the deans will come in and they'll offer some baked goods or tea or coffee, and you just get to sit around the lounge and talk to one another.
I've knocked on Professor Serby's door and I'm just like, hey, I just have some questions about a certain class, and he had the best answers. I was just like, I felt so much calmer after that, and it was just a simple process. You could just knock on the door and they're just there.
In Earl Hall, we have learning community for residential honor students, where students live together, some in traditional dormitory rooms and others in suites in the residence hall.
Living in Earl, I loved it. Everyone there is in honors, so it was nice because I didn't even have to leave my building if I had a question about homework. If I had to come to class at 8 a.m. or if I had to study at midnight, I could just walk right here to the shared space that we have, and it was just made distinctly for us.
I think the 24/7 access is very useful. It feels nice to be able to use your ID to get into the Honors College. It feels really nice because it feels secure, and as a commuter, it almost feels like that's my residential hall, so I really like that.
I hang out with a lot of my friends here at the Honors College. We just had a pumpkin painting event, which was really, really fun. And it really brings together this small community that makes us feel sort of like a family.
I think the student community at the Honors College is probably one of the best. Everyone's very helping. Everyone's always willing to lend you a hand.
As a transfer, I was nervous to meet a bunch of people, but the Honors College was really great and kind of giving you a pre-made community that you can just walk right into and feel really welcome.
I teach the first year seminar, The Modern Condition. The Modern Condition is an interdisciplinary humanities and social sciences seminar. And what we're getting at are some really basic questions about what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be free? It is a seminar. It is not a lecture course.
There is no person at the front of the room giving a lecture. And instead, it's this more egalitarian environment in which every student's ideas are treated pretty equally.
Having it be a discussion course made it so I was interested in it. I was constantly engaged because you're having a conversation. You're not just sitting there while someone lectures at you. I felt like I was part of the discussion and part of the understanding.
Within the classroom, we're really trying to encourage students to draw on their own personal experiences and their own cultural background and their own majors in order to bring different perspectives on the reading or the material that we're addressing in the classroom.
It was a lot of people who studied like art history or who studied dance and studied even like biology, which is different than my major. And I appreciated that the way that they looked at things was entirely different, and I just got a more full experience having spoken with them.
We are hoping students will go beyond the guardrails that we have set for them and find new ways, undefined ways of applying and thinking with the material. It's something that once students are equipped with, they can really succeed in many aspects of their lives out in the world.
I like the engagement and the promotion of critical thought. It actually really helped me intellectually grow as a person. It's actually a great opportunity to engage with these texts and have a better way to engage with the world overall. Because at the end of the day, we need to be more educated citizens.
After the first year, Honors College students began taking a series of Honors College seminars. Faculty from across the campus, from philosophy, from biology, from anthropology, develop different Honors College seminars. They bring their own research and their own methodologies into our classroom.
Archaeology and social justice, the past meets present, that class was really eye-opening. We used to have really tough discussions, I'd say, about the Native American experience, especially on Long Island.
Seminars are constantly rotating and there's always a different topic that's being presented each semester, so it's kind of giving you a unique chance to take something that you may have never taken before. I'm someone that, again, I've just stuck to my science roots my whole life, but I took a seminar on art forgeries, and ironically it was like one of the most fun classes I've ever taken in my life.
In the honors lounge, we have a table, and around that table after class, everyone gathers around, and then quite often these conversations wind up kind of as an extension of class. And I think it's a really beautiful thing, because to have a conversation coming from all of these different perspectives about our course material and then also applying that to our own lives, I think is a pretty magical experience.
The division between the classroom and the outside of the classroom is relatively porous. There's a social dynamic to the learning that the students do in general, which I think makes learning so much more social and engaging rather than just a series of facts that they need to learn for a test at the end of the semester.
Cultural events are central to the Honors College experience, not only because they're enjoyable and it's exciting to go into Manhattan and see theater and see the opera and visit museums, but they're fundamentally very academic experiences. The students bring with them what they have learned in classes and then bring the experience at the musical or the play or the opera or the museum back to the classroom.
We went to the New York Philharmonic. It was really, really beautiful to kind of have that experience where you're listening to amazing music and you're interacting with amazing people. And I remember at the end of the performance, we were like running back to the LIRR train together in the rain. So I was like, I don't know when I would ever have the experience of running in the rain with my professors again, but it was really like, it was a bonding moment.
The first musical I've ever been to was with the Honors College, and that was Caroline and Change. And after seeing the show, I was absolutely captivated. It was just amazing.
To the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Our trip to Hadestown.
Some Like It Hot, that was one of my favorites.
One of the 4 pillars of an honors college education is what we call supplemental advisement. Often honors college students want to do something additional with their major. They might want to talk about how to align study abroad or a research experience with their course of study.
I got the opportunity to study abroad in Australia, and a lot of people at the Honors College were very supportive and helpful with preparing me for that. Everyone was always there for me.
We also offer at the Honors College a summer research fellowship. This is an opportunity to get an independent research project funded by the Honors College for 4 to 8 weeks in the summertime. Students pursue research with a faculty mentor at their own pace on any project of their choosing.
So my experience doing research at Adelphi has been one that's very special to me. With my research and in presenting my findings, I was really able to kind of have multidisciplinary conversations, and that has been really important to developing who I am or who I want to be as a researcher.
One of the exciting elements of being an honors college student is the opportunity to do a senior thesis. And that's really a moment where an undergraduate who's been taking a lot of exciting coursework over 8 semesters gets the opportunity to pursue a project in whatever they are interested in.
Since my sophomore year, I joined Dr. Ferreri's lab for social decision making, and now I'm fully engaged in my own research that I'm fulfilling through his lab. Having this thesis has really pushed me to be involved in all of the analytical and statistical processes. So I'm learning more about all the content that I've learned about before through my classes. Any research paper that I've read before, I can now engage with a much more nuanced perspective than I previously would have been able to.
Our students really get to see themselves and their peers offering original new research to establish scholarship. And that's really a wonderful accomplishment that our students are very proud of when it comes time for the senior celebration in May.
Joy is really central to what we are doing. We want students to really find joy in the learning process, find joy in exploring their world around them.
I've definitely developed my perspective a lot more through these connections that I've built with people.
Having all this information from a bunch of different disciplines, a bunch of different cultures, a bunch of different traditions, allows people to communicate across these communicative barriers or gaps. And that seems to me to be one of the most important things that our students can be learning at this moment in history.
It's because we have this shared space that I'm able to meet and connect with others and just learn from so many amazing people. If I were to come back and do Adelphi all over again, I would always choose honors again because of it.